numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad being pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, don't make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those.
The coach take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New England Patriots and the New York Jets. This will be fielded at the 6. And an alley to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. It's a kickoff return of 94 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd. They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There's no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start, but I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You guys control the ball. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now your offense, will they be out of whack? No, not at all. They're going to be absolutely happy. They're relaxed. They took care of business for them. They don't have any pressure now. They can just go play.
Down. 15 line. 15 line. Check. Check hot route. Hot. Check 31. Check 31. Let's go.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Look, squeeze. Begin. Get it.
They give to Johnson going right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. A first down carry here for Johnson. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. 3rd down, they're going to throw for it with McSorley. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
We go tonight. 180. Check tight.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Goff. Got his man. That's Harry. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play.
First down, Patriots.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Michel. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go. 80. DC.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. And that is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Watch it. Check. Hard. Shoot.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. McSorley, 1st and 10. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's McSorley on 1st and 10. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, wahoo! Big dribble.
2nd and 10, it's McSorley. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
51 to Mike, boy, 51.
On 3rd down, it's McSorley. That's complete to John Ross. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
We go. 70, Indy. Second turn. Man.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
60 outlaw. 6-6, bullet high. Let go.
Looking to throw on 1st and 10. Here's McSorley. Buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. David Johnson. His 11th touchdown of the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
3rd and long. It's gone. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Go out.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
15 line.
A 7-yard pickup.
On second down now. It's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
8 yards on the
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Now Michelle, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They'll try the air now with Goff. Got a man open, that's Harry. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 37.
A gain of 15. First down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Johnson. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Let's go.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Calm crouch. Down. Hey! Patsy. Chance. Ready?
Now McSorley being chased out left. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. David Johnson. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Jets have taken the lead. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Back to throw, Goff. He's going to look. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 32 that time. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A shotgun snap for Goff. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's Goff. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yes, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get in field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3.
And this is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. John Ross, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. The Pats at the line, ready to go. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be from 56 yards out. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go. At their own 26-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Looking for a crease. Can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw. Back to pass. 51. Bravo. 51. 5.
They go play action now with McSorley rolling to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
The offensive line, they're getting it done.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. No. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
We got 4. We got 4. He's checking. Two-jet bomber. Check. Hold on. Check.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines are raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Goff now looks to throw. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw under a heavy rush and down he goes?
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now gone. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Goff now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. They'll run with Michelle. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
We own them. Hey, 5.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Goff. Catch is made by Harry. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One out.
Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the shotgun, McSorley. He finds his man Johnson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 41-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down. McSorley from the shotgun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing is McSorley. And it's complete. Hooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Austin Hooper. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We got to get it back.
It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd and 7, McSorley. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Marquise Goodwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. McManus's point after is good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Goff on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And this will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Goff. Now he'll escape to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked...
And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, if somebody got the rugby casualties,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Goff now to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 41-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey. Check the backer, check the backer.
Now a handoff here to his running back. he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all.
But she's singing too.
No, she's
on like the fifth tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches?
Yeah. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 15.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And some room to maneuver. And all the way down to the 42. A big run there by Johnson. 43 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down.
And it's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Patriots. Big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey.